Hey, what is up guys, it's Zero here, and as you can tell by the video title, we're going to be taking an in-depth look at Revelation Online's combat. Now, I'm not going to be looking at the aerial combat in this video. I will probably do that in a separate video. That's because I haven't got that far in the Chinese client. Keep in mind that I do work along with streaming and doing YouTube, so my plate's a little bit full. I also am designing a video game in my free time. I don't have the most free time. So, again, I'm sorry that I haven't made it there yet, but I will definitely get a look at it as soon as I can. Either that, or I will research it online and then put a video together that way. However it works out, one way or another, I will explain the aerial combat to you guys. But for now, let's just stick to the ground combat. So, there are different player modes. There is the mouse to travel mode, where you click on your screen, kind of like Diablo style, where you just click on your screen wherever you want to go. I think RuneScape does that too, and several other games. I'm sorry I put RuneScape and Diablo in the same sentence. I'm sorry. Anyways, then there's tab targeting. That's the, World of Warcraft style combat system. And then finally, action combat. My favorite out of the three. I feel like the action, I don't know how to explain it. I love action combat so much, but everything else is so well done. I don't know how it compares in PvP. I think the best route to go would either be tab targeting or action combat in PvP, but there are going to be slight changes. I don't know if there's limitations in PvP for what type of combat you want to play as, or what type of player mode. But I'd have to say, I think action combat's the way to go if you're going to do like PvPing. And as far as raids, it depends on what you're good at, I guess. It all comes down to preference, and they kind of covered everybody. You get to pick whatever you want to play with, which is really cool. I just feel like, again, there's going to be some advantages and disadvantages to each playstyle. But anyways, moving on. Now, there is a combo system in the game. You get combo points by using your basic skills, which are the numbers on the keyboard, 1 through 9. I believe I don't remember how many skills you have on that. Point being, you just use the number keys. You guys will see how many skills are on the action bar in the video. And then you see 2 more small action bars to the left and to the right on top of your main action bar. And that is your combo skills. Or I call them F skills, because you're using your F1 through F4 and then F5 through F8. So whenever you attack with your normal skills, you'll build up combo points, and you'll see that on the bar right above your action bar. I'm saying bar a lot. I apologize for that. But anyways, I'll circle it for you on the screen so you can see that. And after using so many skills, you will unlock your combo skills, or your F skills as I call them. And then you can use your F skills, which I believe are more powerful than your normal skills. And it's kind of like a finisher. That's the way I see it. That's how I compare it. But so far on my main character, I think I only have 4 or 5 F skills. Let's get into the normal enemies versus the bosses, or the enemy mechanics. For bosses, there is kind of a complex combat system in place compared to the generic mob enemy system. So the generic mob enemy system, they basically just they look at you and they start attacking with the basic attack. Those are the basic mob enemies. I'm sure that there are more variation among the mob enemies at higher levels, but I am not quite there yet, so I have no idea. I'm not near end game. I'm probably like mid game. The boss combat system is definitely different from what I can tell early on. You'll have telegraphs that show you. It's something that's been in Terra and I believe Wildstar. Whenever an enemy attacks, it'll show like a pattern on the ground and you can dodge out of it. So there is dodging. You need to dodge around boss battles, which makes it more intense. And I believe there are skills to be used that can block. Actually, I'm almost certain there is. So there are skills that you can block with. There's skills that you can even dodge with, or if you're far away from an enemy, you can use a ranged skill. I don't know how many classes have ranged skills. I mean, there are ranged focused classes, but my melee character, the Blade Master, does have some ranged skills, so I can attack enemies from a distance, which is kind of weird if you think about it, but I'm not arguing. It's cool. So dodging enemies in certain situations can be key. For instance, early on you fight this boar enemy thing. I don't know, it charges a lot, and the whole premise of it is you're supposed to dodge out of the way, so then he charges into an electric ball and then gets shocked to death. So I'm sure they're going to implement that in raids and such like that. I would assume so. I would assume they wouldn't show you that mechanic and then not implement it later on, because that would be silly. So I am excited to see what kind of raids there will be and what kind of mechanics in raids, because so far this game does have the potential to have some pretty complex raiding, and it seems like we're gonna have to be pretty strategic when it comes to raiding, is what I'm getting at. Now, there are some more aggressive enemies. Namely the boss that I ran into, which was a wolf type, like werewolf boss thing, but he attacks like crazy, and then whenever you get him down halfway, I think, he goes berserk and starts attacking even faster and charges. Like, you can kind of get a feel for how the enemies attack, because they attack in a pattern, which is kind of cool because it reminds me of Dark Souls. You gotta learn how the enemy works, and then you adapt to that and dodge when you need to. And when it comes to dodging with your shift WASD key or whatever one you want to use, or even spacebar in some cases, because sometimes you have to jump to avoid AoE attacks, which I don't know if I have a footage of that, but I do have footage of using shift WASD to avoid any attacks. Now, you have to be mindful when dodging, because you do have a, I don't know how to explain it, a stamina bar, technically. You can only dodge so many times, so you have to time it right before your dodge cools down. So, I believe you can dodge like 2 or 3 times in a certain set of time, or a certain time span. And that can cause problems, so that's whenever you're going to need to be creative and use different skills to dodge attacks or block attacks, or just time your dodging right. And this honestly excites me because it adds a whole new depth to MMO combat that we don't normally see. I mean, there are versions of it in different MMOs I have seen, but this feels more fluid. I think it's in Terra as well, but something about Terra's combat just wasn't as fluid as the way this game plays. And being able to change how you play whenever you feel like it is awesome. Because, like, maybe you want to progress in this game, but you still want to feel like you're playing Diablo or something. You can just change the combat. I'm not saying that this thing compares to Diablo, because I don't think it can. If you're wanting to play Diablo, you need to play Diablo, but you can get that same kind of feel, or I don't want to say nostalgia, but just different game modes. Let's just put it that way. You can play in different game modes, and it's fucking great. Because I haven't seen this much variety in another MMO. I don't know if I should say ever. I just can't remember right now if there is another MMO that gives you this much variety. But it's pretty cool. Again, I will take a look at aerial combat a little later. But that pretty much wraps up the video. I hope I explained it well enough. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me in the comment section below. I will respond. I can't guarantee that I know the answer because there's a language barrier here, and I'm doing my best to translate everything. Well, I guess I shouldn't say translate. I have an English patch, but it's not the best, so it's kind of hard to understand everything. So I'm taking what I understand mixed with what I've got from the game to bring you this. That's pretty much it. Anyways, if you like this video, please leave a like and comment down below. Again, if you have any questions, just ask me down below, and I'll do my best to answer your question. I will be streaming tonight on Twitch, probably Revelation Online or some other game. I don't really know. That's pretty much it, guys. It's been Zero. Peace out.